Morning, right, hello. So as you know, I've recently bought the Goose, the campervan, to go in above my head and do a campervan conversion. And they're expensive, they're very expensive. And I like to do everything on a budget, because I'm skint. So, today I'm going to be building the bed to put in the campervan. And I've done it on a budget. So, to put things into perspective, the average bed frame that you can buy for a campervan, flat packed or somewhere like eBay or Amazon, is around about £300. Then the foam itself, I looked on Amazon, I looked around, was gonna cost around about £150, £200. So there's £550, and then the material, which I didn't realise was so expensive, is around about £100 a roll. So you're probably looking the best part of £650 to £700 for a bed for a campervan. Which is ridiculous if you're trying to do it on a budget, especially then that's almost half of what the van cost. So not only have I managed to get everything I need, way less than that, I got it less than I thought I could ever do. So we're going to start by building the bed. Unfortunately, it is hissing down with rain outside, so I'm going to be building the majority of it inside and then putting it in the van. So I've pre-cut the wood down already, I did this yesterday. Before I get on to building the frame for the bed, I'm actually going to be building the top of the bed. Now let me talk you through what I've done here and what I'm doing here. Okay, so first things first, before I get into the frame, here's the bed. Here we go. So, I have some 5mm plywood. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Rob, why the fuck have you got 5mm plywood? Go with my design here. So, this is going to be, I've got two of these. This is the one. I've got two, right? Here's how my brainwave is going to work on this. Bear with me. Now, this costs £15 a sheet for 2,400mm by 900mm. So that was one sheet I knew I could make the bed seating slash mattress with, so it's like a sofa slash bed. But the costly thing was always going to be the foam. So I did what every right-minded man from the UK would do when he's trying to save some money. I went directly to China. I went to Temu. So I took a photograph off Amazon, and I encourage you to do this trick. Take a screenshot of what you want to buy on Amazon. Take that screenshot, and then use the image search function inside Shein or Temu, and 9 times out of 10 you will find the object. So, for what would have cost, I think it was at the time £310 for the foam on Amazon. £310, right? I took the picture and I reverse image searched it. And guess what I got? All the foam I needed. No FOMO here, mofo. Right, so this here is going to be enough foam to do the mattress part 1 and mattress part 2, which will indicate the seat, and then the rest back when it's in seat position. Was it £300? No, it was not £300. The entirety of this foam cost me £18. 18, £18. £18. That's a saving of £280 on the foam alone. Foam alone. That would make a terrible film. Right, so this is the idea that I'm going to do with this. Ooh, I'll get some material in a minute. So, I've got some carpet adhesive. And I'm going to attach this foam because, incidentally, it's more expensive to buy it as a long piece. But I don't mind because I'm going to attach it to this in its own way using carpet adhesive, and then we're going to cover it, which I've also got covered. So carpet adhesive, nice and easy. Give it a shake for a few minutes. Try not to get it over the furniture because your wife will kill you. And then just as simply, I like the fact I'm trying to give a tutorial on this, having never used it before. Apart from when I put the stuff down in the van. So I put some on there, and then I need to attach some to the bottom of my foam. And you just wait a couple of seconds. It goes ticky-tacky. And then we place down. And there's foam piece 1 on. Now I'm going to repeat the process for both pieces. I'm not going to make you watch all of it because you would be bored. I'm going to repeat the process for all of it and then we'll move on to the covering. Okay. Okay, so we've got the foam on. Foam on. Perfect. Right. What about material, I hear you ask? No problem, man. Okay. Right. So, material, £100 a roll. I don't think so. See this? Sofa covers, again, from the ever-present China. £4 each. £4 each, and they're actually sofa covers. So what I'm going to do with these, because they're not going to fit exactly, no doubt, is this. I'm going to cover this with one end. I'm going to cover this. This is bonkers, but this may even work, right? And then I'm going to cover this with the second end, which works perfectly. What I was going to do is I was going to make it so that I flipped it over, which I may still do. Yes, I'm definitely going to do this. Right, so I'm going to flip it over now, like so. And then I'm going to become an upholsterizer with my ever-present staple gun. Because this is then going to help me hold things into place. I've run out of staples. I need to get some more. And ladies and gentlemen, we have, as quick as a daisy, as sharp as you like, mattress part 1. Now I've got to repeat all that over again, and then we can get to putting the frame together. I'm really proud of that. It looks like a bed. Now I know that some of you are probably thinking, why are you stapling them down, because you can't find your stapler. Where did I put my stapler, you div? I do this so often. Where did you put your stapler? Where did you put your stapler? Where did you put your stapler? You silly son of a sausage. If anyone can see the stapler on here now, let me know, because I really can't. It's down here. Found it. Okay. So some of you are probably thinking, why are you stapling this down? And the answer is simple. One problem with material from Temu and places like that is it's crap when you wash it. But for the price of them, if I ever want to update the covers, right, I simply, when it comes to it, just tear them off and put some new ones on, because the cost, realistically speaking, is ridiculously low. And for what they are, really, this whole process is very quick, and we have a bed. But that's just the bed covers. That's just the mattress. What we actually need to do is we actually need to make the bed frame, which is the difficult part. But I've done that so they can settle, they can dry, they can rest, the mattress can puff out some more. But at least it's a mattress. So yesterday I cut my frame down to size. Here's my frame wood. Frame is very, very simple. I'm going to put up on screen the idea behind the bedding. As you can see here, it's a really, really simple design, because people seem to overcomplicate these with slat beds and whatnot. I didn't want to overcomplicate it because one, it goes over the budget, and two, once you get into that stage, all manners of complications come in, and I'm not a carpenter, not a woodworker. This is all brand new for me, but it's an ongoing project. So this is the idea I came up with. So we have a frame across the top, which is going to run with 2 pieces of CLS 180 centimeters long, and then 2 which are going to be 40 coming across the center regions, as you can see here. The center regions, not my crotchal regions. Then we're going to be dropping 40 centimeters down, and then the frame again across the bottom, across the back, which then attaches into the back of the vehicle. Because I've got a wheel arch, it needed to be 40 centimeters to come over the wheel arch, so it'll have clearance for the wheel arch, and it'll be a very simplistic frame. Then we have 2 pieces of 18mm hardwood plywood, which was cost me £35 for the sheet. So the CLS cost me £15 for all of it, and that is 5 pieces. It's £3 each. Also, I got an extra bit of a bargain, and my plywood for the rest of the bed was £35 for the entire sheet. The hardwood plywood is going to make up what is going to be the folding top, what that is going to go on top of. So what happens is, the lid itself is going to be a storage unit, which is going to allow access to come in on hinges, which will lift this way, in my head so far. But also it'll have another hinge on between, dividing 2 45 or 450mm by 180mm pieces of hardwood plywood, with the hinges which will then fold out and open out, which will then accommodate the mattress. I'll also attach 2 arms onto the top of the piece that folds out, and they will also be on hinges. They will also be made from, this is just scrap, if you can just imagine these, that will also be made from 2 pieces of CLS, and they will sit on the hinges, rest on the arms like so, and then as the bed folds over, they will drop down on 2 hinges and act as legs to support the rest of it. When it's folded up, they will act as arms on the sofa, and they will be covered in a form of material which will match the material of my cushions, pillows, accessories that I already bought from China as well. So, if you haven't already worked it out, the running total of this entire bed build is £15 for the CLS, £35 for the marine plywood, £18 for the foam, £6, I think it was £6 for, £6 or £8 for that, £6 for the material, and £15, 10 for the 5mm. It might have been 15, it might have been 10. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it on the screen. I think it's £15, 10 per sheet of the 5mm plywood. So if we do our mad quick maths on that, we've got 18 plus 6, so no, we'll take it up to 8. 18 plus 8 is 26, 26, 36, 41. Then add on the 35, 41, 71, 76, 86 plus 5, which is 91. But I also had a £12 voucher for B&Q, which is our local hardware store, which took another £12 off that total. So the running total for this entire bed came to, I think the total paid was about £78. Just let that sink in. £78 for something that people are paying £700 or £800 for, and putting it on YouTube and saying it needs to do this. For me, this has just got to be somewhere where I can sleep. Right, it's got to be somewhere that's big enough for me to sleep, somewhere that's got mild comfort. That's really comfortable, that foam. I lay out on the floor the other day and just lay on it. It's really comfortable. So it's got to be easy enough for me to sleep. It's got to provide me with some storage. Just think about that for a moment. Most people spend £700. If you simplify the design and just look around, you can get exactly the same thing, because you're just going to sleep on it, for under £100. Now I know we do everything on a budget here, and we could have gone luxurious and whatnot. We're not doing luxurious. The van's old, right? So We don't know how long it's going to last, for starters, given the work it's just been done on it. And still some to do on it. But as long as it's got somewhere to sleep when I'm out and about, that's all I give a crap about. So now I'm going to get to drilling this, and then I'm going to assemble the frame, and you can see what I'm on about with this frame. The funny thing is, in my head it's in the planning stage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, drill my pilot holes, and that can help me think while I'm doing my drilling pilot holes. You get to have a nice time lapse in watching me do some drilling. You perverts. Ryobi. Interestingly, I know there are different drill bits for different things, but I don't know what drill bits for wood, metal. So I'm going to Google, because apparently there are different drill bits for different things. So I'm going to do a Google here. Black oxide. I got none of them. Low density wood. Titanium okay, so that's this. So I think this is what I want. I'm going to use one of these, because it's shiny and pretty. So I'll use this shiny pretty drill bit. Don't get too annoyed with me, people. I've got no idea what I'm doing with this shit. Right, holes drilled. I'm going to attempt now to do some assemblising. This could go one of many ways. But I think I'm actually going to utilise the flat surface of the floor for this. So, come on down with me. Ugh. Okay, so now I'm going to be utilising some floorism. So nice and simply done. One there. You can sit there. One there. One there. One there. And there should be one around there. And then one about there. Okay? So that is basically how this frame's gonna go. Just that way. I'm saying this with such confidence. There's fucking zero chance of this working, is there really? Zero bob shit chance of this working. But we have to be positive about these things. So, here we go. And for all you DIYers out there who want to know what type of screws I'm using, I am using big ones. Without a clue what I'm doing. I can apply my usefulness in an engineer's sense. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I did fucking well with that. Look at this! Top of the bed. Can you see this? It's gonna need some finishing. But look, camera on ceiling. Look at that! Right. So now, I need to assemble the bottom part of the frame. And don't die in the process, so you can have a you can have a rest while I'm doing that. Okay, so what I'm doing now then is I'm building my triangles. You can see this rod's a bit rough around the edges. I can do some finishing on that later. So what I need to do is drill some more pilot holes down the bottom down here for these. Probably get the other ones as well, because that's another part I've got to do. Now all of these are exactly 40 centimeters each, 400 mil. And what I'm going to be doing, really simple thing, I can do it while I'm up here, is I'm going to be attaching this to this and making a U shape. Yes, my U shape. I'm starting to doubt whether I need to make this U shape, but I definitely should make the U shape. What I need to do is put my drill bit back in. So far, bear in mind this is my first project of anything like this at all. This has taken so far probably about an hour and 15 minutes, which I don't think is bad going, if I'm completely honest. I might be wrong. I'm sure that the wooderizers, the woodologists, will tell me in the comment section if they think I'm a fucking loser and I've got no idea what I'm doing. But, again, I'm having a go. And that's what life's all about. It's having a go. And that's what, I changed this channel to be all about. It's just have a go at things. Get out there. Be yourself. Get out. Own things. Some stuff that you might not be good at, you never thought you could ever do. Give it a fucking go. Because the world and the internet, at times is a shit place with people that just want to do and say horrible fucking things, which then in turn makes people doubt that they can do things. I know it sounds stupid, but it's true. The internet's a tool for disaster sometimes. While it can be a tool for good, it can be a tool for disaster sometimes. But hopefully, with little things like this and little projects, you can be like, I can do that. So go and do it. Have a go. If you fuck it up, you fuck it up. If I fuck it up, I fucked it up. Shit happens. So what? I'm happy with what I'm achieving so far. Unbelievably. And I don't understand how it's going so well. So I'm expecting something to go wrong soon. But again, at least I'm giving this a go. So, next things first, I need to attach these things here to this. So that's what I'm going to do now. Wish me luck, Batman. Batman. That has actually come together. So I just need to put a support brace now, just across the front inside. And the bed base is done! That's nuts! Absolutely nutty, that is. You wouldn't believe this, but I've built a bed frame. I'll see you in the van. Where are we going to attempt to stick this bitch in? See you in there. Oh. Okay, so what I've done here, while I crawl in here, is unbelievably, it's fitted. Let me show you. So I just do this so it's in here nicely. I'll come around the other side and show you, so you can see it from the other side too. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I need to attach it to the floor, which isn't going to be a problem because I've just been out. Right, I need to attach it to the floor, which isn't going to be a problem. I've just been out and bought L brackets. magical L brackets, and these are the other screws I bought yesterday, so I had an extra £3.90 onto the total. You buy them from B&Q, they'll cost you 20 quid. If you buy them from your local hardware store, they won't cost you anywhere near that. So, I've got some larger ones for the front, and I've got some smaller ones to anchor this to the body of the car. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now.
Check out his horse.
Okay, so that now is super tight and super secure. Let me show you. Here it is. And it's not moving anywhere. So put one more bracket down there just to fix that side. Top is rock solid. And we're almost ready to put the top of this bad boy on. Okay, you're not going to believe this. I've done it and it works. So take a look at this. Let me bring you in to show what I've done. So as you can see here, we have the frontage on and we have the top. The top is a double hinged storage under there. I'm still going to put the legs on for the bed for the way it pulls out, but that will come and extend into a nice wide bed. And it works absolutely sensationally. Now I just need to put the cushions on and show what it looks like when they're on. Yeah, so across the bottom here, I'm going to line this with some trimming so it looks panelled. I'm going to put like a skirting board down there just to finish that off. I've got some mats to come in with some double-sided tape on there. I've got some ceiling lights up there, and I've also got to build a kitchen over this side, which I'm really impressed with myself. I'm well happy with what I've managed to achieve. I think this is a win, like an absolute win if you ask me. For a day's work, I'm thinking it's absolutely amazing. Right, so that is the van build complete for today. I've done like 4 or 5 hours on it, and I think we've got half a bed. Next time we'll finish off the legs of the bed, we'll finish off the side, we'll do some of the finishings, and we'll make it look nice and beddy and nice in there. We can add some of the accessories to that side, because realistically, with all the stuff I've got already, I don't need the kitchen before it can go for its first journey. So do that thing that I never asked anyone to do, that subscribey thing, and then you'll be notified when the second part comes out, which will be whenever I feel like uploading it. Have the best day, you sexy motherfuckers.